Okay, hello everybody, and welcome again to the AC's Jeremy Plays Factorio. Gonna jump right back into this. And last night we got our total research system set up. So, now it's time to start looking into making some defenses for our base here. Let's see. Gonna need to place some turrets around. Probably some out there, and some over this way to help defend things, and certainly some out that way. So we're going to need at least, I'd say 6 of them. So, see what we need to make turns. We need copper plate and iron plate, and lots of both. Fortunately, we have lots of both. So, whoops, wrong button. Okay, that's enough copper plate for all 6 of the ones that we need to make. So now we can start looking at making, or getting the copper plate that we need to start making iron plate that we need to start making these things. 2, 3. And now they're trickling in because I no longer have the constant stream that I had before. And yes, this will actually interrupt the production of some of my materials for a little bit, but it shouldn't be too terribly bad. That's 4. Okay, coming up on being able to produce our 5th one now. There's 5. Gonna let it build. Here we go. This is another strategic reserve that we have of these things. Goody. So we can pull from there for a little bit. And that would be 6. Okay. Now we want to set up defenses, but we don't want to really get in the way of further expansion of certain things here. But if we look at the map, if we place defenders just a little bit further out, then we should be able to do this without really messing anything up. 1, 2. Gonna want to head over here to our energy production facilities. 3, 4, and then we'll need to head down to our other resource gatherers. Yeah. 5 and 6. Okay. Now all of those are going to need ammo. Fortunately, ammo is not a terribly hard thing to produce. It's literally just iron plate. which, as you can probably tell, we are producing a lot of, but it's probably going to turn into a bottleneck sooner or later. Okay. So, first thing that we're going to need to do is collect enough iron plate to actually build our ammo factory. Oh, and enough copper plate to actually build our ammo factory. Okay, now we've got enough for our ammo factory. I'm going to put it off to the side over here, just so that it stays out of our way. Actually, no. I'm going to put it over here. It'll still be out of the way, but we can take a direct tap off of that one, off of that line, since it seems to stay pretty full. Okay. Now we just need to set up systems for getting it out to all of our defensive structures, which of course will require even more iron plate. And some copper plate because I want to put in at least 2 splitters. I'm going to need a lot of conveyor belt here. I'm going to go ahead and dump off a few of the things that I don't need in my inventory. Now, build that, and we can start taking this out. I'm going to put in my first splitter right there so that we can take a line off of it on over that away. And my first inserter to start emptying that poor thing out. There we go. Now we can put those in and going the wrong way. There we go. And we find ourselves in need of iron plate again. Now, one of the nice things about these Sentry gun turrets is that they don't actually require power. Not entirely sure as to how they work without power, but I don't question such things. I find it's best just not to ask. Yes, it's quite often best not to question the gods of gaming and why they decide, hey, this isn't going to require any power at all. You just got to get ammo out to it. And And now I'm just waiting on my iron production to pick back up. Now, eventually, I will set up a drilling platform for stone, but right now it's just not worth the expenditure and extra resources. Okay. Now, if I can do this right, which is of course no guarantee that I'm going to do it right, but if I can do it right, then I should be able to. Okay. Hmm. I should be able to set this one up to start making more iron for me. Okay. And there we go. Okay. Let me limit that box so that it doesn't just sit there pulling coal constantly. I'll position myself at this crossroads and just start sucking it up as much as I can. Okay. And now we have the ability to start supplying these two as soon as we get some power out to them. Hmm. Okay, now those two turrets have ammo. and they can start doing their own thing. And I'm going to want to put my second splitter in right there so I can start taking it off towards those that are further south. Let me go ahead and start building this line to come out here to those defensive turrets. Now, one of the nice things about using these long uh, transporter belts is that eventually they'll fill up, at which point they'll stop transporting things, and then this inserter won't be able to take out of there, so that'll stop producing anything. But it gives me a fairly good bunkerage of ammunition to work with. Unfortunately, until production can catch up, it's also just, I've also run into a production bottleneck here, apparently. But one that is, oddly enough, easily solved. Yeah. Okay. See what I can do with this. Okay, queue up a lot of those suckers to make, and then okay, we finish off that sucker. Now, let's see what else we can make here. Turret damage, armor. Steel would actually be nice to be able to make. Leave a slight gap there so that I can install another one, just like I did down here later on. now we can start inserting ammunition into those two turrets. Okay, now we just got our last pair to put in. Yeah, we're going to need to create a pathway through here for us to take our transport belt to get down to those two. Okay. Yeah, we're already starting to catch up in spots here, which is certainly a nice thing. I may need to go ahead and install another mining unit out here. Okay, now we have more stuff to research. Now we're not going to really be able to use any of the oil fields out there right now. But let's see. Go ahead and go for that extra quick bar slot while we're at it. See how we're doing here. Yeah, we haven't really interrupted our research much because of all of the bunkerage that we're building up there. So, go ahead and zip through that line real quick. Get myself another drilling platform set up. I'm actually going to put it in right here so that it will go ahead and introduce both iron and coal into that line, which will by extension introduce iron and coal into that line, but doesn't really matter. Okay. And now we continue what we were working on. Okay. How do we need to angle this thing? Ah, there we go. Yeah, I can come down and then over and work my way down through there. That is the one problem that I have with a lot of this, is the fact that it's so very straight line. Little diagonal wouldn't exactly kill us every so often now, would it, guys? Ah, and now I run into one of the big problems that's going to cause, except that, okay, good. It is still capable of doing that. But I am going to take that one out of the equation for now. I need to figure out a way to get all of this stuff circulating back through again. See if that doesn't help out somewhat. Seems to be working better now. Yeah, if I had the filter inserter, I'd go ahead and pop it in right there and just simply have it start transferring coal over to the other side. Okay. Now let's see how much further we can get with this. And that appears to be about it. Even though in all honesty, that's a pretty good distance there. Okay. Come down here into this opening and then turn to head off that way. We're actually getting pretty close, so it's not too bad. And apparently everybody's still producing pretty well out here, so that's not all that bad. I wonder though. And I just lost my tool. Figures. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, not much actually lost power there. Okay. With that out of the way, Still can't quite do this the way I would like. Or maybe I can. Hmm. Okay. There we go. Now we have a little bit more production going on there. Okay. Now we can put in our two inserters here and then start setting up power runs. These power runs may actually come in handy later on whenever I need to add some more copper mines to it. Okay. Now we have all of our turrets hooked up to our ammo system. And we have ammo production going on. All sorts of fun stuff. Hmm. Okay, no, that keeps traveling along there, so that's actually not that bad. And that sucker is now without power again. See what happens if I move that one over to there. Okay. Keep power then. Okay, apparently that sucker's kept on producing even though it wasn't being unloaded. Joy. But that sucker is now without iron ore coming in. Hmm. Trying to figure out a way that I can finagle this thing around. Short of building a circular system, I don't really see it happening, unfortunately. And besides, trying to build a circular system through this maze would just be ugh. Okay, that'll help it out a little bit. If nothing else, I can always put a box over here and just let it grab. I do really wish that I had a filter inserter right now. Be so nice. Okay. Now that's backing up real well, which is helping out a lot. That sucker's sticking stuff over there. Hmm. That's getting a little bit of that iron plate, but not nearly enough. Okay. Should actually start to do better soon. Once again, just too much coal, and it's mainly that thing right there that's causing it. Okay, I need to put in another iron drilling facility then. In fact, two might not be a bad idea. Okay, that's starting to work now. So, yeah. Hey, look, that'll actually take everything, or that'll actually solve most of that problem. Yeah, that is starting to solve the problem now. Okay. That's soon going to be backed up all the way to there. That one, on the other hand, still going to take a little while. And from the looks of it, we could actually afford to build a brand new lab and speed up our research a little bit. So, that's exactly what I'm going to do there. Because it seems like we've got plenty of materials here, including a lot of the red pack bunkerage. So, okay. Okay, our first lab can go in right there. There's our inserter for it. There's power. And our second lab is being produced right now. And there's our inserter for it. So, now we have 4 operating labs and not enough power. Joy. Hmm. We're apparently not getting enough actual heat through our boilers. I think I'm going to have to set this up a little bit differently. It just means completely and utterly screwing over my power system for a few minutes. Okay, need tool. Yeah, I'm going to have to install a long line of boilers here to actually produce the amount of power that I'm going to need for this. Sorry about not responding there. Okay. It's mainly just a matter of that mixed mind that I set up. It's what decided to screw me. Okay. And we are starting to lose temperature on the far end now. Ah. Okay. There we go. Temperature's coming up good. Good. we're not using the entirety of our performance, so there we go. Yeah, that sucker should actually work pretty well right now. Yeah, it's this mine right here that's really messing up a lot of what I'm doing there. Hmm. Okay. We got power across the board. And that is our tool belt upgrade. So let's see. Yeah, just getting to some of the higher automations and everything requires a lot of research. Actually, gonna go ahead and go for that one, mainly um, because it's a gateway to a lot of other fun stuff, as is most of the research in this game. Yeah, the biggest problem that I'm going to end up facing is when that coal vein finally gets past there. Fortunately, I've got another one coming up, because that one does not have another source of coal. So, we shall see. Okay, now that I've got some iron plate to actually work with and play with here. Ah, okay, it gave me a whole nother road down here. Cool. Okay. Let me see exactly how I want to handle this. Because I'm thinking that if I extend this out along here, it may actually work out the way I'm hoping it will. We'll see, but I think it may finally be time to resort to getting a lot of stone coming in. Yeah, build it over there. Yeah, iron plate production is one of those things that you really gotta make a lot of, simply because it has so much going on with it. It just uses so many different things, or it's used in so many different things. Whoops, my bad. I've actually got to give myself a place where I can take that out of there. There we go. Okay. Now what that'll do is it'll take that up and around and then drop it on there, but it'll drop it on the other side so that it can start building up on both sides. Take that sucker off there and build a fast inserter. Okay. Now we can actually. What was that? Oh, that was supposed to be my. Yeah, that was good. I got that one mixed up. Okay. There we go. And turn it so I can put one more area in there. And now I can start putting in a line of additional production smelters, furnaces along here. But for that, I'm going to need more stone. Oh, goody. That's about to be backed up all the way to there. Okay. So now it's time to start considering what to do next. See how we're doing on... Yeah, we're actually seeing dips in energy production again. So... Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. I'm going to put a furnace in up here even though I'm not actually going to supply it with coal quite yet. Just because it may be necessary to pop the heat levels back up later on. Okay, now let me figure out what I'm going to be researching next. That requires, in all honesty, a long line of different things. This is everything that I have available right now. Yeah, go ahead and research the combat damage stuff for a minute there. Now, apparently I have enough temperature just from this flow back here to keep it going pretty good. So let me go ahead and put in one more steam engine. So we're not quite riding so close to the edge. Pick up some more stone. We can put in a little bit more of this stuff. There we go. Okay. Trying to figure out a way to utilize this whole empty space here. I think I know how I can do that. that should actually give us a pretty good production rate there, since it's now backing up, but that also comes from the fact that that sucker um, has actually stopped finally. Okay. What else do I really need to worry about at the moment? Oh yeah, steel production. Knew sooner or later I'd bump head to head into that one. So, now I actually do need to start worrying about making steel. Simply because it's one of those things that you cannot really do without, especially as you advance. Okay. So, first things first, you gotta have a furnace to make steel. Gotta have coal, and then gotta have iron. And for now, I'm just gonna put a box there to pick it up after I finish making it. Okay. Now, unfortunately, this is just insanely slow. At least with this particular furnace. The stone furnace runs a little bit better, but I can't even build it yet. So, okay. As I said, steel is going to be necessary for a lot of things, but especially for things like making the higher end ammos. It's a necessary part of doing that. And for that matter, making higher end anything, including tools. And I think I can set up another one there. Ah, too close. Okay. See how this thing's working? Yeah. As Colonel Will pointed out, there is always going to be the possibility of a deadlock there. Fortunately, I did plan for that possibility. Okay, what am I missing there? Copper. Hmm. Apparently, I cannot actually power that thing at the moment. I'll be able to later. In the meantime, I can wait until some more coal works its way down that line. In the meantime, I still actually have a great deal of production going on, so I'm not too worried about it right now. Okay. Let us see, let us see, let us see. What do we feel like going after next? Having some armor might be extraordinarily nice, but I'm actually going to want to produce the piercing ammo before I go on the offensive against anybody. Okay. I'm actually going to move that a bit more out of my way. Okay. Now what that will allow me to do is take that steel out of there and work it on over this way until I can get it over here and set up a uh, piercing ammo factory. Now, I'm not going to bother with sending piercing ammo out to all of my turrets because they have other upgrades that they can take. Okay, that gives me piercing ammo. Now I'm going to start in on the various and sundry ammo upgrades. Wrong button. Okay. Make sure everything's flowing in the right direction there, and then we can start in on this. Okay. Now a little bit of power. And dump the steel that I picked up earlier into there. And we should now have piercing ammo production. But yeah, all the turrets also get the turret damage bonuses, whereas all that you're getting is your standard ammo damage bonuses. So that's why I'm willing to send out just the regular ammo to the turrets. And there we go. Now we've got the better ammo. Hmm. Is the production times really that different? No, it's not. Wondering what's going on with that. Hmm. Okay. So now we have our better armor coming, or our better weapons, I should say, coming in now. We don't just want to let it continuously produce on that one either, because it'll just keep on pulling more and more and more until that chest fills up. But at least we have one over here that's producing steel for us to use for building purposes. See how we're doing as far as power goes. Yeah, we're not even using as much as it can produce right now. So that's certainly a good thing. am now facing coal shortages. It's a very temporary stopgap there. Yeah, it's time to set up another coal mining rig. While I'm thinking about it, go ahead and set up the ones that I need for this too. Thought I ordered two of those things. Oh, I did. Then the other one was used to make the um, long arm. Okay. Now, where was I? Yes. Needing iron plate. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. I think I know which one I should have gone for now. have put in all these taps on it as well, so it's not surprising that I would all of a sudden start running a little bit low on coal. Okay. Yeah, actually, that could work. So, there we go. Now, if only I could figure out a way to help this one out, which apparently I'm just not going to do at the moment. But that's fine. Got everybody else working towards it. I am halfway tempted to take that one out just to get rid of it. Solve that problem, but no, it's not too bad. Requires a little bit more complication than I would really like, but you know, no system is ever really perfect. So we're doing here. Yeah, actually producing a pretty good amount there. Let's see how we're doing on power again, just to be sure. Yeah, not doing too terribly bad there. Oh, really? Yeah. I actually haven't used grenades in this game yet. I'm a little bit worried about using them too. Okay. Yeah, as of right now, it's either a make work or a just let it kind of go for a little while on the research front proposition. Of course, I can speed that up a little bit, not much. Okay. But the only way I can really speed it up is by just adding more labs. Okay. 7 does look like it's going to be the limit with the length of my conveyor there, and that's actually a pretty good limiter. Okay, bad placement on that one. Okay, we're actually doing pretty good there. Got plenty of iron plate backlog built up here, although I assure you it would go away in a hurry if production even began to slow down. Hmm, it actually looks like copper may be something I need more of right now. It's probably the actual production of it that I need more of at the moment, as opposed to the ore production. Okay. See how I can set this whole thing up. Okay. Now what can I do to get this over to there? Simple, in all honesty. And voila, we have now doubled our copper production. Oh yeah, definitely needed more of that. Yeah, we had that huge backlog before, and now it's almost gone. But part of that probably also comes down to the fact that we brought up our iron plate production enough to start meeting the demand that we have for it. Okay, and it looks like we've finally got enough coal coming in, so that's not too bad. Unfortunately, I think that the mining production is where we're going to end up falling flat here. Okay. Not doing too bad here. We have our new ammo being produced, our full defensive system set up, our research system expanded to its current limit, producing steel, producing tons of iron plate. And it actually seems as though we're producing enough power for everything. Yeah. I know that's not quite peak usage, but it's not doing too bad either. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night there. Hope everybody had a good time. And Calvin and I will be together tomorrow night playing Civilization 5. So, see you then.